Houston, we have a problem. Okay, you join me and my winter jumper here at Windybum, and we have got an issue, darlings. Now, you might remember from a video a couple of days ago, the coolant was very low. Well, guess what? Last night the coolant was very low again. I topped it up at work. Looked at it today, all I've done is driven the car home, and once again the coolant has disappeared. It looks a bit wet down there, so what can you do? Well, I'll tell you what you can do. You can call the AA, and that's what I've done. Now, today was a day where I was planning to play with cars, or play with a car. I was planning to play with Minge Bag and get her ready to go for MOT on Monday, starting with the battery. Now, Minge Bag's got a problem with the alternator regulator, as it turns out. I thought it might be a problem with the battery, so I bought a new battery a while ago. Fitted it, made no difference, turned out to be the regulator. But the battery has since gone flat, as it did on all the others when I abandoned them callously. So I figured I might as well fit the new battery. So, oh, hello, God, it's all happening. Who's that? Ah, that's the AA. Okay, I need to reply to that. Yeah, I thought I might as well fit the new battery. I just popped it onto charge just to make sure it's fully charged, and it is. It's brand new. So I'm going to go ahead and do that battery swap while I'm waiting for the AA, who I now need to go and reply to. Okay, so I'm hoping I don't have to get the big boys toolkit out, and I can just do it with these. Should just be a couple of 10 or 11 mils, I think. Right, well, that's the terminals off, and I'm hoping this battery isn't actually completely goosed, so I can use it as a spare stroke slave. So I'll put the tester on it and pop it on charge, and we will put the new battery on. Actually, I've just spotted that there is a retainer, so it's going to have to be the big boys toolkit. Right, here we go. That should be the combination we need. Okay, so the retainer's out. We should now just be able to... Yeah, right. Time for the battery swap. Right, so I've put the old one on charge, and it is taking a charge, so hopefully it's not completely cooked. Okay, the AA is only 20 minutes away, so that's good. The battery's in. I need to get the retainer bolted in. Right, well, the AA are 10 minutes away. Just got a phone call, so that was very quick. And the new battery is fitted. So we'll tidy up the big boys toolkit, put that away, and then we'll deal with Janet Jackson. And then, depending on how things go with Janet Jackson, I'll run this up, check all the fluids, and above all, give it a wash. Okay, so just waiting for the AA. The level of coolant loss means that the car's effectively undrivable, unusable anyway. I mean, you could drive it to a garage, top it up, drive it there. So it's going to be a question of either it's something simple that he can fix, or it's going to need to get to a garage or whatever, and that just means it's off the road for a while, because money doesn't exist for such things right at this moment in time. So it's just fingers crossed, really. And here comes the fourth emergency service. Okay, sit rep. We've found the problem. There's a tiny crack in the expansion tank. And unsurprisingly, none of the local suppliers have got a Rover 25 expansion cap tank thing, header, reservoir. So, yeah, the nice AA man is trying to come up with a temporary codge. I assume Mustard's got one. Okay, well, he's done a codge, he's put some sealing tape on and that's sealing with an S, S-E-A, not C-E-I. So we'll just have to see how that goes. I rang Mustard, he has got one. Minge can't go in for MOT on Monday, they can't do her. So it looks like Monday's going to be JJ to the yard and swapping the coolant tank. Okay then, darling, so that's where we're up to. The AA chap's gone. Nice man, a very, very nice man. So we're just going to have to see how well that codge holds over the weekend, because I do want to use JJ. I don't want to use Officer Crabtree if I can avoid it. So I'll check the level before I go to work. I'll check the level when I get to work, and so on and so forth. And hopefully that codge will keep going until Monday. I'll go to the yard on Monday in JJ, and I will swap the expansion tank, and hopefully all will be well. Right, it is now 7 minutes to 2 o'clock. My video is a super long one. It's 54% uploaded. And oh, right, I forgot to mention this. A lovely guy came round this morning with, he works with vending machines and whatnot. And he's obviously a viewer and knows I'm skint. And bless him, he came round with some free food. But he'd sent me a message, but it was early by my standards, it was early morning, and I hadn't read the message. And I just got out of bed when he knocked. I hadn't had a cup of coffee or a fag or anything, and I was just bewildered. So I hope I wasn't too rude. I really do apologise. Just FYI, guys, if you come round here before midday, especially if I don't know that you're coming, chances are I'm going to be half asleep and bewildered. But it was a really kind thought, and I'm really, really grateful. And I apologise if I wasn't at my most welcoming. Anyway, so what am I going to do now? I'm going to do the washing up, and then I guess it's going to be lunchtime. I've done the battery swap on Minge Bag, obviously. So Minge Bag can't go in for the MOT on Monday. I'll try and book it in for a week on Monday. That gives us an extra week to play about with her, tidy her up, so on and so forth. Yeah, washing up time, I guess. Catch you in a bit. Right, so I just need to rinse the washing up, which I'm trying to keep on top of these days. And then it will be time to sort lunch. Now, I am on day 2 of my slightly bigger breakfast, much smaller lunch idea. Basically, for those who don't know, I recently became besotted with Yvette Viz Z Damp Baps. And I am an eternal optimist, darlings, by nature, a sunny optimist. So against all of the odds, part of me thinks that maybe one day Yvette will fall for my dubious charms and very kindly allow me to have a go on her. So optimist that I am, in the possibility that that might happen, I am aiming to get myself into tip-top, furious, pottering shape. So to that end, I have added a spoonful of baked beans to my breakfast, because they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, blah, blah, blah. and also just to make mornings, winter mornings, a little more palatable with something nice and hot to eat, and you eat it with a knife and fork. So you're tricking your mind into thinking you've had a full English breakfast. And then for lunch, I will just go for something a little less extravagant. Quite frankly, my lunches became too large of late, and as a result, if you eat a lunch that's too large on a regular basis, you might become too large, and that is, that is undesirable when you're trying to when you're when you're chasing after Yvette's. So yeah, I aim to hone my body into optimal poddering condition. Okay, I've just got chicken and onion in there with some oil and spices. Chuck some water in. Just deglaze the pan. Oh, smells good. Smells good. And then just throw some ramen noodles in. Again, cheap, quick, simple, relatively healthy. Just flick the noodles around a bit. Oh, I'm going to enjoy this. There we go. Just leave them now to do their thing for a couple of minutes. And that, my dears, is my very compact and bijou lunch. Right then, darlings, as the bus goes past, it's time to cross our fingers and head to work. Now, we're half an hour earlier than we were yesterday, so there is even more light in the sky. We won't arrive at work in the dark, but at least we're not leaving in the dark. Now, obviously, the jeopardy is the nice AA man's codge on the expansion bottle. I've got a big thing of coolant, so we should be okay. You know, worst case scenario, I'm just gonna have to top it up every half an hour. But hopefully, it'll do the job until Monday, when I can get it swapped. It's not a big job. Not by any means. Right. Oh, what's happened there? Oh, you've wonked. I can't get this, I can't get the phone to sit happily in the mount. There must be a way. What about if I do that? Is that better? What else is there to tell you? Not much really. Not expecting anything out of the ordinary tonight. The only you see, no, you're not in the right position there at all. I wish I could just clamp down. Maybe I need to oh I know something's coming. That's a ticket. You stay there and I can carefully whiz round it. Thank you very much. There we go. Oh, you're completely falling out now, aren't you? Right, just try and hang on as best as you can. And I will. This phone is worse than any of the others. I think it's because it's a Pro, so it's considerably heavier than the predecessors, and because of the design of the clamp, the phone kind of doesn't sit halfway, so its center of gravity is off to one side, and that means that it's consistently trying to pull itself out. What about if I tuck that in and then I can put the phone in? That might be a bit more secure, but you're getting more of the clamp. I'd have to zoom it right out to that. Yeah, I'll just quickly, I'll shut up in a minute. Yeah, tonight, standard Friday night, we've not got many booked. The only jeopardy is we're not absolutely sure what staff are turning up, or we weren't as of last night anyway. Hopefully Ram's got some certainty during the day. Not expecting, get over you absolute twunk. Not expecting it to be a massively busy one, but you never know what you're going to get with walk-ins, do you? So that's about it really. I'm going to, I think I'll stick some music on actually, and I'll see you at the Honourable Bridge. Oh, hell's teeth, what's going on here? Oh no, quick decision to make. Do I go right? Is there a queue up there under the bridge? Oh, I can't see, I don't know. Let's risk it for a biscuit. Keep going, it seems to be moving. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Greetings, Honourable Bridge. Yeah, they must have just slowed down there for somebody to turn right, or there was a bottleneck under the bridge or whatever. We're all good. Okay, darlings, here we go. Dropping into Ripley. I've kept an eye on the temperature gauge, obviously, always do anyway. No issues there, but more importantly, the heater has stayed on consistently. In my experience, before you get any deviations on the temperature gauge, you will lose your warm air. That tends to be the first sign of the coolant being too low, so fingers crossed we're okay. No lights on upstairs. Obviously, Mr. O'Reilly's men are not due until Monday. And that white Merc, that's Samyog, and I must remember to tease him for pulling out of the restaurant last night with no lights on. Right. Let's go and see what's what.
And then he wants a curry with chicken.
Right, that's it. The evening is at an end, and it is, well, it's time to turn the stereo off. It's time to go home, darlings. Time to go home. Time to go home. Time to go home. Get off me Bristols, it's time to go home. Ah, Sherpa's Lodge up there. Will you be the Sherpa's Lodge sometime soon? I wonder. Christmas lights, why are you on? And yet your brethren are, as yet, not. It's a mystery. Oh, it's a mystery. Greetings, Honourable Stigbert von... Oh, no, sorry, you're not. You're Windsor Tavis. Greetings, Windsor Tavis. Oh, dear. Sorry, Windsor. Lovely boy. Lovely boy. Tonight was pretty unremarkable, really. Let's have a look at the restaurant. Anybody there? No. No, they haven't gone home yet. Fair play to them. I was joking, said they're part-timers because they're normally closed before us. Yeah, tonight was pretty unremarkable. It wasn't super busy. It wasn't deathly quiet. We had some nice groups in there. A really good fun group on table 11, well, 11 and 12 shoved together. Leaving do for a chap who's heading back to Bangkok on Monday to teach English, having been out there doing that for 14 years previously. They were good fun. There were some nice people in tonight, and it's just been steady and unremarkable, really. Not much more to it than that. Outside of YouTube and the restaurant stuff, I finally bit the bullet and accepted some help for my Homes for Ukraine Facebook group. That's got quite big now. 4,500 members. It's a group designed to facilitate Ukrainians looking for sponsorship and homes in the UK through the government scheme. I set it up immediately. The government scheme was announced. It's been quite successful. It's kind of harder now because sponsors have kind of been there, done it. Some of them have had bad experiences, had their fingers burnt, don't want to do it again. Others haven't had bad experiences, but they just don't want to do it again. So there are very few sponsors available now. But of course, the war continues in Ukraine, as we know, and there are many people seeking sponsorship. But whenever there is something like this, there is always the opportunity for people to try and take advantage. So there are a lot of scammers out there. There are scam profiles pretending to be Ukrainians. There are scam companies trying to get money from Ukrainians, saying that they've got homes and jobs waiting, all of that sort of thing. And of course these people are infiltrating the group. Now, up to now I've been running that group entirely alone. I don't have any admin, don't have any moderators, literally just me. There's like an admin group I was invited to join where they share details of scammers with, you know, other groups doing similar things. And one of the guys there pinged me today and said, you know, heads up, this guy, we've discovered he's a wrong and he's in your group, get him banned. He He said, but I've mentioned it before, but I would be perfectly willing to help as an admin or a moderator. And I thought, yeah, the time has come where I've got so many things going on now that I thought, yeah, time's come to take on a mod. Oh, and on the subject of Ukraine, I talk about it quite often because Ukraine was part of my life. I lived there. I dug out, I mentioned on a live stream, I found an old photo album a while back and scanned some of the photos in, and I shoved some photos from the time when I was living in Ukraine in the Boaty's World Facebook group today. So if you fancy having a look at me in Ukraine and Lena was the girl that I was living with in Kyiv. We had an apartment 60 yards off Independence Square. Then there are photos in the Facebook group. If you use Facebook and if you want to be a member of the group, maybe you don't, perfectly understandably. Oh, it's the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul thing tonight. I don't know, what do you want to call it? A fight, an exhibition, a disgrace, a shameful money-grabbing exercise. It's probably all of those things. I wouldn't pay to watch it. I'll probably watch highlights as and when they become available on social media. But let's face it, it's going to be an entirely scripted thing, isn't it? Neither one is going to hurt the other. If I had to bet money on the outcome, I would bet on a draw, because a draw gives the possibility of a rematch and another 40 million for Jake Paul and another 20 million for Iron Mike. Now, if it wasn't a scripted fight, and of course it will be, you'd have to be mad to think otherwise, what would happen if it was an unscripted fight? That's really interesting, because you haven't got any real insight. You see clips put out for social media of Tyson on the pads and whatnot, and he looks good, but at the end of the day, he's a 58-year-old man. A couple of months ago, he was either in a wheelchair or walking with a stick because his back and his knees were fucked. And he smokes marijuana non-stop. So, I don't know, 8 2-minute rounds against somebody who's, by no means a boxer, but he's been taught to punch hard. So if it was a real fight, Jake Paul would beat him is the reality of it, and he would beat him really, really badly. If Tyson has got any speed or power left, then okay, he might be able to get him out of there in the first or maybe second round. But realistically, time waits for no man and time takes no prisoners. So it'll be a completely scripted job. Am I offended by it? Not really, no. I think everybody knows what it is. And if Iron Mike, who I have met, by the way, twice, Iron Mike got shafted most of his life, didn't he? Don King shafted him massively. His ridiculous entourage shafted him. And above all, he well and truly monumentally shafted himself. If he can pick up $20 million in his twilight years, fair play to him. And as for Jake Paul, well, I mean, the guy's just a marketing genius, isn't he? You know, you can knock him or knock them all you want. At the end of the day, they're pocketing 60 million between them, not you and me. Who the hell are we to call them out for being anything other than very clever people? I'd get in the ring with both of them, tag teaming me for 10 million. Never mind 20 or 40. Probably wouldn't last long. I'll tell you one thing though. I'll tell you one thing. If Jake Paul and I had fought each other when we were both, say, 16, 17, 18, I'd have absolutely hammered him. Absolutely hammered him. I did box when I was younger. Did a bit of street fighting too. And, you know, Jake Paul didn't start till he was 28. So, yeah, anywhere in the late teens and I'd have absolutely eaten him for breakfast. Now, if you'd have put me in a ring with Iron Mike when we were both 18 or 19 years old, I would have lasted, well, however long it took me to throw the towel in or hop back over the ropes, hopefully before the bugger clobbered me. Let's do some overtaking, shall we? Here we go. Oh, regarding the car, I haven't checked the coolant because there's been no indication that it's gone dangerously low. I've had full heat all night. I'm warm as toast. Temperature needle hasn't variated at all. So I'll check it tomorrow in daylight and see how much, if any, we've lost, and then obviously I'll make a decision about using the car tomorrow night. But everything feels fine at the moment, so yeah, I'll check it tomorrow and we'll see. And I suppose that's going to be about it, isn't it? For God, I'm going a bit quickly. Oh, it's easy to get carried away, isn't it? I suppose we're coming towards the end of the day and indeed the video. I'm looking forward to tonight's live stream, as I always do. But thank you, as always, for your company. It really wouldn't be the same without you, you know. And please allow me to wish you a safe and peaceful night and a reasonably splendid day ahead. I hope you're able to take a little bit of joy and pleasure from it somewhere, somehow. And above all, take really good care of yourselves. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And of course, if you've got people who you love and who love you, take really good care of them too. Here we are. Once again, home, sweet home. Okay, darlings, much love from me, and I'll see you next time.